Hi, I am Allison Kaiser. I'm an educational consultant with i-LEADR and a lifelong learner. Implementing virtual lessons with students has been a challenge for me, but also a new learning opportunity. In a classroom, we have to engage our students in order to effectively teach them. We have to hook them into our lesson, and if we do this, they will be interested, they will be engaged, and they will learn, which is our ultimate goal. But our students' attention spans can be short, and there are so many distractions, especially when teaching a virtual lesson. As a virtual teacher, I am now competing with my students' pets, their phones that are now right next to them, social media, their TVs, their toys, which are also now right next to them, and their siblings running around. So, how in the world can I keep my students engaged so that they continue learning and growing? Does your virtual classroom ever look like this? One student looking away, maybe at a TV, maybe at an iPad, another student playing with their pets on the ground, another student that's not even there and I'm staring at a wall. This is what we're trying to solve. How do I engage these students into the lesson so that they can continue to learn? With my fellow i-LEADR consultants, we have been investigating ways to engage students in a virtual setting. I'm going to share one way to engage students at various grade levels and in various content areas. The biggest takeaway that I want you to leave with from this segment is that the key to teaching is really knowing your students. What are they into? What do they spend their time doing? When we plan our lessons, do we think about our students' interests? If I know my students' interests, I can plan a lesson around this passion or this hobby, and then I can engage them more in the learning. I'm going to show you how my colleague Jamie and I engage different groups of students to learn the content by connecting the content to Fortnite. Fortnite is a popular video game where players virtually interact with each other. Your character skydives from a flying battle bus and lands on a map. The ultimate goal of the game is to be the last one standing. I taught a virtual middle school math lesson about plotting shapes with specific areas on a coordinate grid. I know that this particular group of students enjoys playing the Fortnite video game. So I decided to use Fortnite as my hook to teach them about shapes on a coordinate grid. I told the students that the Fortnite map is really just a big coordinate grid and that the characters were going to jump from the flying battle bus onto the map. They had to predict where the character would land and plot the rectangle with an area of 6 square units. After we discussed the math concepts and the strategies that were in this task, I used Fortnite toys to simulate the skydive to the map. I want you to watch their engagement to see if you think I hooked them into the lesson. Next up, Raptor. Raptor, are you ready? All right, did I get it? What point is this one?
Wait, what point is it?
-1.
-4, right? If I start at point of origin, -4. I'll do Spencer's hops, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. So -4,
-1.
-1. Anybody?
No.
Quadrant 2. Who got quadrant 3?
Corner.
What? Hold yours up, Spencer. It landed close to yours? Oh, it
Yeah, and like the top right.
Oh, Spencer got it. All right. At one point during the lesson, one of the students started looking down like he was doing something else. So when I asked him what he was doing, he actually got really excited and he showed us this. Hold that up again, Spencer. So show us what it is.
The
There's the map.
Yeah, with the ABC on the top, which is like the x-axis, and then the 1, 2, 3, which is like the y-axis. It's
Oh,
like in the coordinate 4.
Oh.
nice. This student was so into this connection that Fortnite was a coordinate grid that he started doing his own investigations and looking it up. Now I'm going to show you a clip of a small group of high school students making connections between Fortnite and historical battles. This is my colleague Jamie, who is also an educational consultant with i-LEADR. She taught these students a lesson about the Battle of Normandy. The students were also extremely excited in the lesson because this particular group of students also enjoys playing the Fortnite video game. Let's watch this clip.
I try to get the most loot I can.
Okay, so you look for the most loot. All right. How about you, Easton?
Spawn or go to the edge of the map where you won't get killed.
So some of you look for the most kills where you're going to kill the most people. Some people look for the most loot, and you're saying go to the edge of the map so you won't get killed.
Yep.
You can see this. Can you guys all see that picture? Where would you send most of your troops? Knowing your military strategies from Fortnite, what you look for, where would you send your military troops?
Go to Utah because you can just swim.
Swim them in. And why else do you think Utah would be a good one?
There's not a lot of people, and you only have 100 people.
Not a lot of enemies. Okay. What do you think? Anybody?
I think I would go to Utah too, because clearly loot isn't that big of a deal in this situation.
Right?
So having the least amount of people would be best.
Okay, so you think since there's not a lot of Germans there, probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
All right. And what do you think, E?
I would probably go to Juno Beach because even though Utah, you can get a bunch of kills and like kill a bunch of people. At the same time, the more people you fight, the more people you're going to lose. So at the same time, I would still want to try and keep as many people as possible, but also try and put a nice dent in their military. So that's why I would go to Juno Beach.
Okay, why did nobody pick Omaha?
Because
Omaha.
when you go in, there's a cliff, and that means you're on the low ground, which means you're at a disadvantage.
So you think you don't want to start at a disadvantage?
Yeah.
That makes
Perfect.
sense.
All right, so it makes sense. So now what I have some firsthand accounts from people that went to the beaches you picked. So we have 2 Utah and 2 Juneau, and I'm going to have you guys read these firsthand accounts, and I want you to figure out, did you pick the right place to put your troops?
I loved how Jamie hooked the students by pulling in their interest of playing the Fortnite video game and then connected it to a historical event. The students were more engaged in doing the work because of this connection. My last example of using Fortnite to hook students into the content is with elementary students and reading. I taught a small group of 3rd graders about setting. I used Fortnite because this group of students also has an interest in playing this video game. Watch and see how engaged they were in this lesson about setting. Today we're going to look at a certain setting. We're going to look at Fortnite settings. The settings in Fortnite. So I found a map. Does this look familiar?
Yeah, very familiar.
Very familiar. Okay. So what are some places on the Fortnite map?
I landed at a log cabin. All I could see was nature and trees. I looked up and saw a giant watchtower, and I felt the dirt crunch under my feet. I decided to follow the path, and it led me to a playground. From the playground, I could see a pond. On the path, I saw RVs and other cabins. Where?
There's cabins. What else did you guys hear in there?
Trees.
What?
Yep. Yeah.
What is it?
Weeping woods.
Do you agree, Jovi?
Oh my, wait, it was Weeping Woods. Oh my gosh.
Wow, very good. Good job, Cisco. The mom of one of the students in the lesson sent me a picture of her daughter during the lesson. I was really excited to see this picture of her daughter smiling, having fun, and engaged during the virtual lesson. Students of all ages can get easily distracted and lose interest in a lesson, especially virtually. when they have a lot more distractions at home. Our goal is for our students to learn the content that we are teaching them, so connecting this content to their interests or hobbies can help better engage them in our lessons so they can learn. There are many ways to use Fortnite to keep your students engaged in learning the content. We are really excited to hear about your experiences with trying this engaging strategy with your students. I hope this segment helped you take the classroom practice of knowing your students and transfer that into our virtual environment. Let us know. Bye.